Alright guys, we are going to learn how to make flashcards today. Alright, so hopefully you have some index cards. If you don't have index cards, you should have some white sheet of paper where we made our own index cards. It's fine. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to make flashcards with the index cards. Now if you have index cards or if you have line paper, I do not want you to skip any lines at all. Alright, if you could use a ruler or a book, or if you want to do freehand, that's totally fine. Like, so for example, if I get ready to do this freehand, I want to make my lines. You want to try to make it as straight as possible, so just go slow. All right, just go slow. You're gonna make a line, and your goal is to make 5 of those. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start using my ruler here, just so I can be a little straighter, because I want those to be as straight as possible. All right, for me. All right, then I'm gonna come down, make my 3rd line. Remember, there's always 5 lines on the staff. Then let me make my 4th line here. All right, then boom, 5th line. All right, so now I have 5 lines. So if you have a blank sheet of paper, you would do the same thing. All right, you're gonna make 5 lines. So this is gonna be let me straighten up my paper here. Sorry, guys. All right, so this is line 1. And try to keep the spaces the same size if you can. It's my line 2. All right. This is going to be my line 3. Try to make those spaces the same size. This is my 4th line. And then, boom, this is going to be my 5th line. All right. Good deal. So, now after that, we're going to go ahead and make our clef, all right? So remember, we use the treble clef, all right? We use the treble clef. Got a lot of stuff on here, all right? So let me just use this. So we use the treble clef. Remember, the way that we learn how to make the treble clef is to first, all right? I like to first make a 6 that is going to circle around that 2nd line, all right? Then at the top of the 6, you can go ahead and make a D, uppercase D. Then from there, you're going to follow that D line. You're going to bring it down and make a J. All right? And so you'll do that on all of your cards, and you'll end up having 4 cards, all right? So once we finish doing that, you should end up having 4 cards, because we're going to be doing 4 flashcards. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now, remember, our 2nd line, we learned this, our 2nd line is always G, okay? Our 2nd line is always going to be G, okay? You want to remember that. So what we're going to do, we're going to learn our line notes, all right? And we'll go ahead and start with G. So I'm going to make this note right here. I'm going to make a note. I'm going to make sure that that line intersects that note, all right? And on the back of this, I'm going to put G, so I know that this is G, all right? So, boom. I'm going to put that card up. Now, if this is G, I'm going to go down here. I want to figure out what this line is. If this is G, that means this has to be F, because I got to go backwards in the alphabet to figure out what the letter is. And then, boom, this first line on the staff, you guessed it right. Yes, it is going to be E, all right? So I'm going to make a little note right there. And then on the back of this, I am going to put E, so I know that this note that's on the first line is always going to be E, okay? So I put that up, going to the next card, all right? Now, I want to get this 3rd line, so I know that this is G, and if I go up in the alphabet, the very next letter, remember the alphabet goes A, B, C, D, F, G, and once it gets to G, it goes back to A. So this would be A, but I want to figure out this 3rd line. After A comes B. So I'm going to go ahead and make a note on this 3rd line, all right? Try to get that line in the middle. And then, boom, turn around. I'm going to put B. So I know that this note is B, all right? So now I got B, all right? Last one. So this, I want to figure out my 4th line. If this is G, this has to be A. This has to be B. This 3rd space has to be C. So that 4th line has to be D, all right? has to be D. Try to get that line in the middle as much as possible. All right. Then I'm going to put D on the back. Now, your goal is to now memorize it. So you're going to use these as flashcards. You're going to say, oh, fourth line is always D. I know that's D. All right. Oh, this is on the third line. That has to be B because B is always on the third line. Boom, I got it right. Oh, this is on the first line. It has to be E because E is always on the first line. Okay. And then, oh, I know this second line gotta be G. All right. You want to memorize that for your note identification game. All right. Thank you, guys.